Hello folks and welcome back. This is Norethlian of Norethlian's Game Space and I'm just having fun. Alright, now let's see if we can't avoid all of these. Well, coming to a dead stop. Pretty close. For the weight of this vehicle, 13 gyros is plenty. For right now, that is. Look at that power slide. Them sweet skills. Alright, so this is the new MSSV lineup, all based off of a common space frame, which is, in short, based off of the original thing on my workshop. And only 2 of these ships are even remotely finished at the moment. What you see here is kind of an integrated full version, where I've just been dicking around with a bunch of scripts and stuff. And it comes in 3 parts. Right here is the pilot assistance module. Which, you know, you've got a bit of fills here, you got a bit of Whip's artificial horizon script here, you've got, you know, and I had to modify the script just a tiny bit to actually allow it to work across grid like it is, but you also have some Master's automatic configurable LCDs. And we're going to completely ignore this thing. We're going to start off with the basic modules themselves. And this is the pilot module that you saw where I, you know, configured it up, and it's very simple. You just basically, and it's optional, so you don't need to necessarily do it, but you just get rid of this block right here behind the catwalk panel, put it in there, put a connector in there, take care of the ownership deal, get it all linked together. This is the multi-function module. Now granted, with fills you still have to have a programmable block on grid as opposed to this, because if you use the fills on this right here, this will be detecting just this and not the whole grid. So you want to use, you know, programmable block. We'll go into that a bit later. So the multifunction module gives you a whopping 7 programmable blocks, 13 timers, an emergency beacon, and 9 LCDs, so you have no end to what you can do for automation. Now it's mounted to a connector with a dinky little reactor, single ingot of uranium in it, so that way it can be easily and handily mounted. Both need to be powered. And you can mount them pretty much anywhere that there's a bit of, you know, 2 blocks that we can mount the connector and that. I was going to use a rotor, but I don't want to tempt Clang. Anyway. So this is the basic empty frame. Basically, I took the Mark 6, which is currently what's on the workshop, gutted it completely, revamped it a little bit, reworked it, filled in a lot of the gaps, and then from the ground up, rebuilt the Mark 6, which is this one right here, the one with the hydrogen thrusters. So this is the Mark 6.5 multi-role support and survey vessel. It is intended for small group and solo operations. It can house up to 3 guys. It's got a full med bay, 2 cryopods. You know, granted, you know, this is 1 guy in each cryopod and a 3rd guy in the pilot seat. So you have that. It has a full refinery assembler. It can defend itself a little bit, just a little bit. And actually, I don't think there's a whole lot of dead space within the thing. What I mean by dead space is areas and locations for, you know, expansions and upgrades. I think, yes, here's right here, in this little gap right here on the starboard lifter engine is where you want to drop the multi-function module. I think that's about the only space I had left for anything. Anyway. You've got 2 optional attachments here, although I don't think you could be able to mount a regular turret there. It might get destroyed by the thrusters if you're in atmosphere. Alright, well, enough of the Mark 6.5. This is the Mark 8, which is what I just flew in on. It is intended to support larger scale operations and is very maneuverable, atmosphere or space, but it hauls a lot. And I mean a lot less. On the Mark 8, you have, okay, it's right up in here. This is where the multi-function module will reside, and as you can see, it's just barely big enough for it. And over here is the dead space. You can drop your fills programmable block there, replace these conveyor links with assembler and a pair of arc furnaces, and then you've got enough space. And let's actually go queue that up and drop one here. Let's grab a programmable block, a conveyor, a arc furnace, a jump drive, and an assembler. Alright, so we drop Phil's programmable block there. We can run the LCDs for that script. We can rip out these three here, replace them with conveyors, and we'll drop those in as we leave. And there we go. Extra jump drive. 2 jump drives. Now, let's there. 2 arc furnaces. There we go. There we go. Doesn't haul quite as much as the hydrogen version will, which is the Mark 6.5, but it's still quite a capable craft. Now, here's the 2 specialized variants. This one, as you'll notice, is only ion thrusters, and to install your multifunction module, you need to delete like this block here and go up in here. This is an interplanetary bulk hauler. As you see, we have a gravity generator. You need to turn off the main gravity and then turn on this gravity generator and activate the mass blocks, and you can use a gravity drive on it. So that's very useful there for long-range hauling, and this is in addition to the fact that we'll remove, oh, come on. You've got 2 jump drives. Stock. You've got tons of ion thrusters. You've got 3 large cargo containers, and I haven't yet even laid in all the turrets for this one. This one is a little bit different. You'll see it's no jump drives. It's just straight up 4 atmospheric lifters, tons of engines, and nothing but cargo containers. It does have a little bit of an interior. You know, pretty standard setup for me. I don't know if I actually did that in the bulker. No, I did. I did that in the bulker. Okay, so yeah, you've got a cryo chamber. Each one can, you know, fit with a cryo chamber, a med bay, and pressurized air vents. So come on, you should be sealing up any second now. Okay, obviously I haven't sealed this one all the way then. Or there's a damaged block somewhere. There we go. Sealed. So that's the short overview of all the models of MSSV. All of them, after I've worked on them and gotten them 100% and ready for release, will be on my workshop. In addition, I'm not just going to be releasing just these 4 variants right here. I will be, as the individual modules, be releasing the MSSV pilot console, the MSSV multifunction block, or multifunction, what do I call it? The functionality module. Yeah, pilot info module, and the blank frame. The blank frame and all of these are going to be released so that way you, the end user, can create your own custom multi-role support and survey vessel, or even an attack Corvette. In fact, I've also got one of those in the work. I just have to bother to convert the entire frame here to heavy armor. So that way it'll supersede the old attack Corvette. Anyway, I will be provisionally allowing people to host their own versions of the multi-role support and survey vessel on their own workshops, with one caveat. You do not necessarily have to cite me as the co-creator of your ship, because all I did was I created the basic space frame that you were using. All I will ask for and all I want is recognition that you used my space frame and a link to the workshop where you picked up the space frame in the description of your workshop entry. That's all I want, okay? And I'm not even going to make that mandatory, but it would be nice to say, you know, hey, someone put together the most awesome thing ever, far better than the guy who gave me the original space frame, and, you know, someone else put this together, and, you know, it just, you know, I would like recognition, but I'm not going to make it mandatory. So, anyway, I hope you guys, once I get these up on the workshop and they're all fit, configured, and everything, they'll be shipping as just ships only, so that way you can spawn them in or build them on a printer. And the functionality modules will be separately. You will need to spawn them in separately or print them separately and install them yourself. Trying to put them all together on a multi-grid means that you can't use a projector. You're forced to have to creative spawn it, and that ruins it for when you're trying to use it for survival, which is what they're for. They're here for survival. Anyway, in fact, I think this is the only one that right now does not have the provision for the functionality module. I'll have to try to dig up some space inside. Anyway, I hope you guys liked and enjoyed. If you didn't, you know, feel free to thumbs down. If you did, thumbs up. If you don't like it, let me know why you don't like it. You know, constructive feedback. Anyway, I will see you all around.